My name is Josh Weil. I'm the Democratic nominee here in District 6. Stefan mentioned my primary. We had so much fun in the primary. I had this wonderful gentleman running against me who would show up at DECs and refer to himself as Republican light. That he truly felt that no one in District 6, no one in these counties, no one in Putnam County or Flagler County or Marion County was going to support a progressive. And he wanted to make this race in 100% about it. He was a moderate and I was a progressive. And so we went with it. And Stefan was actually there in Palatka, the first time he did this. And it was one of my favorite moments from the primary because he starts telling them like it's like he's revealing this scandal from my past that Josh is a progressive. And then he goes, he probably even supports Medicare for all. And the whole room of little old ladies just start screaming, woo! It was one of my favorite moments from the campaign. And we absolutely ran with it the entire way. And a progressive beat his ass by 22 points on January 28th. And we showed that people do want progressive policies. For whatever reason, the National Party is adamant that progressive policies won't play in rural areas. And the national media is adamant that progressive policies won't play in rural areas. And yet, when we go out across this district and we talk to people, Republicans, Democrats, independents, and MPAs, what we hear over and over again is the need for something more. We hear it all the time with the Republicans, right? The Republicans will tell me, right, Bernie Sanders is their favorite Democrat. He's the only one they like. He's the only one that isn't full of it. They've seen how hard the Democratic Party had to work to keep Bernie Sanders out. And it has given him all the street cred in the world, where they believe that guy actually would have done something for us, because look at how hard they had to try to stop him. The response that we're having when we're out, we just finished, I'm in the back room here at a community center in DeLand. We just finished a big town hall with Killer Mike as a special guest. We talked about all of these issues. And I had a nurse come up to me afterwards about how healthcare was the most important thing that we talked about, the most important thing she needed to hear and know, because, just as I see it in education, and I see all the difficulties and the obstructions and all of the things that keep us from helping teach these kids, she sees every day what is obstructing and keeping people from having access to healthcare. And we just need to take care of people, period. And when we're out, this was a very favorable crowd. But when we're out in mixed company, when we're out talking with Republicans and independents, the conversation for Medicare for all goes well, because usually they start off really adamant and pissed off, and they're like, that's socialism, or even worse, it's communism, and we can't do that. And you can't, the government ran everything. You want governments running your hospitals and your doctor's offices and this and that. And there's this idea that it's some kind of combination of like an East German film and something that they've seen from like a European system. But when you start to tell them that actually, like, it doesn't replace, Medicare for all doesn't replace any of the hospitals or the doctors. Like, we have way too big a healthcare infrastructure here to actually start changing over or dealing with that. Medicare for all gets rid of the insurance companies. Dude, their eyes light up like little kids on Christmas, right? Because, and I say this with all the love in my heart for the man, but the dumbest thing that Barack Obama ever said, and it's not a long list of things, was if you love your health insurance company, you can keep it. Not just because it wasn't true, but because no one in America loves their health insurance company. No one in America is ride or die with Cigna. Like no one is taking it to the mat for United Healthcare. Every single, you want to get Republicans and Democrats united over something, talk about getting rid of health insurance. Everyone friggin' hates their health insurance. It is the easiest pitch and sell that you can do, right? And when we talk about cost, and this goes to every single issue when we talk about privatization, right? Milton Friedman wrote some BS article 50 years ago that, the free market will always be more efficient than anything government can do. And Republicans, man, they like have it tattooed to their chest and will never let it go. But explain to me like I'm a child, right? How a for-profit version of a business, right? How a for-profit version that has to provide the service and ensure that they're charging enough to make a profit off of it afterwards can be done cheaper than providing it at cost. Explain that to me. Explain it to me how multiple competitors, right, all over, how all of these different organizations doing things on smaller scale can get costs down below what the federal government could, right, if we centralized and everything was in a single bulk purchase. Right? We know we're all here, right? Like I don't gotta sell y'all on Medicare for All. We're in the Medicare for All meeting, right? But what I want to let you know is that we're carrying the message out and we're carrying it to the places where they told us no one wants it, and the response is phenomenal. Right? So I'll give you a little update on our campaign here, right? We get our weekly tracking polls Thursday morning. So I got a new one coming in tomorrow. But as of our most recent tracking, when we look at the exit polling, right? So there's been about 30,000 vote ballots already turned in by vote by mail. Right? Democrats and Republicans are both, they're about 200 votes apart, both 13,000 and change. Independents and MPAs, a little over 4,000. We are polling 100% among Democrats. We're polling 13% among Republicans. And the most ridiculous, absurd thing I've ever seen, and it's been consistent week after week, we are polling 90% with independents and MPAs in our exit polls of those who have already voted, giving us an incredibly comfortable lead in this race. Now, our prospective polling is a little different. We're down to 60% with independents and MPAs. Republicans and Democrats stay just about the same, maybe off 2 or 3 points off. But we have a fight going forward, right? It is incredibly pretty much even going forward with us only getting 60% of MPAs. But as they're voting for us. We have a lead and we feel good about it moving forward. In terms of what we need to do to win this thing, we have 13 days left and we just cannot take our foot off the gas. We need every single person out there knocking on doors because we have the support. It's about getting out the votes. Special elections have low voter turnout. Voter turnout in our primary on January 28th was 14%, 1-4. Right? We have more than enough votes, even if we only got Democrats. We just have to get them to the polls. Anyone in the area, anyone who wants to come on down, right? Just like Gay said, we need people knocking on doors. We need people making phone calls. We need voter contact, getting them out to vote, right? And if you've still got a couple dollars left in your pocket, right? Contributions go a long way because we have an incredible canvassing team that's out. We're hitting about 25,000 doors a day between our paid team and our volunteers right now. We've started going toe to toe. Well, we actually got on TV about 2 weeks before him, but Randy Fine's going on TV midweek this week with a stupid ad budget. We're going to be going toe to toe on TV with Randy Fine and whatever horrible things he's going to be saying about me. But we need to keep it up. We cannot let up in any way, shape, or form because we are about to take an R+32 district and flip it blue less than mere months after a Republican won it. We're going to send a resounding call across the entire country that this current administration is being rejected by the American people. And we're going to show them not just that a Democrat won the seat, but that a progressive who supports Medicare for all won in this district, and that is the game plan we need to take into every red and rural district across this country if we're going to take back the House, take back the Senate in 2026, and take back the White House in 2028.